That's Charlie Ray with Ready to Go, and we're ready to go with some of the interview that I've just conducted with Senator Alex Antic. I'll share a bit with you shortly, but in the third hour of the show, I'll bring you even more of what Senator Alex Antic had to say about the ABC. But I wanted to bring you this excerpt because I spoke at the start of the program about this phenomenon called identity politics, which sounds like something that's in the political backwaters or maybe what goes on social media, but the Prime Minister's weighed in on this topic of identity politics overnight at a speech in Sydney, and I asked Senator Alex Antic about the ABC and what it was up to, and he brought up this topic of identity politics as well. And here's what he had to say.
So the ABC is the very home, in my view, of identity politics in this country. And by that, of course, your listeners would know, I mean that the process of breaking people up and using their identity as the key feature of what they do. So, you know, I identify as somebody who is X, and therefore I am oppressed. Therefore, that must be my message. Now, that to me is has nothing about diversity. You know, whether you're an LGBTIQ person or whatever it is, it's actually about division. The ABC, in my view, is stoking division in this country, not unity.
There's more to come from Senator Alex Antic in the next hour of the program, where I speak with him about the ABC and the recent proposal by some people that maybe it should run an equivalent to Facebook. And I've got a working title for that. I think that ABC's own version of Facebook could be called Groupthink. I bounced that off of Senator Antic in our interview, which will bring you in the final hour of the program. But this business of identity politics, I just have to make a comparison here with something that's in the news today. So today there's talk of expanding the number of countries from which we will ban people entering Australia because we're putting India on that list because of a virus threat. So India's on that list because, very sadly, they've reached 370,000 plus cases of coronaviruses overnight and over 3,600 deaths reported in a day in India. So you have a virus threat, and we're banning one country from entering the nation, even though somehow a plane from Qatar, carrying among others 2 Australian cricketers who are desperate to get back into the country after they bailed on the Indian Premier League. So generally speaking, we're banning flights from India into Australia on the basis of a virus threat. My point is, President Trump early in his presidency imposed a similar travel ban on people coming from particular countries into America because of a national security threat, not a virus threat, but the threat that terrorist acts might be conducted on American soil or indeed towards the flights or the airports that these people were travelling to. And let's remember that ban was imposed on the advice of national security experts. The only difference here is that the ban being imposed in Australia on Indian flights is based on health experts, not national security experts. So that was immediately deconstructed and treated as racist. Identity politics card was played there and said this is a racist attack on people from certain countries. I'm not suggesting that the ban on people coming from India is racist, but it would be interesting to see if someone starts running that argument that the Morrison travel ban is like the Trump travel ban and the threat is different, is there's a virus now and it was national security then with Trump. That's an example of how identity politics is used to shift a debate from what it was really about into something very different indeed.